Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another scene from the living world of darkness, chaos across New York. We're setting today's scene on the Sept of the Green in the training grounds, which is nestled in the northern woods of the Sept, obscured from the casual observer quite tidily. And yeah, I believe we at the very least left one really big, really ugly guy there, and what's happened since then is beyond me.
Well, basically, he's been after his defeat, he's basically been in Krynos with his blade, practicing really hard against the dummies, cutting them in half and stuff, moving on. But he's avoiding the nice looking ones because he feels that they probably been worked on a lot by somebody. So he's basically moving from the practice dummies and basically when he knows that he's ruining the dummies, he's basically going to put his real sword up and like basically go to the practice sword and start training. And he's basically grunting, and he's focused on these training dummies right now. So, yeah.
Being a fairly often fixture at the training grounds, Will turns up with one of his kin, who he chats to for a while, watching Fangs of Sobek fight. And then we'll go over to one as well, and we'll begin. He doesn't use a weapon; he just begins kicking, punching, footwork, etc.
After a few minutes, Joe will actually make an appearance, and he just kind of looks around and like, hey, today's my lucky day. There's even more of my favorite Rayas.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
Hey, Will, not too bad. How are you?
We'll consider this for a moment. Today's been good.
That's good. I just had a meeting with the truth catcher this afternoon.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Really interesting guy.
I had a meeting with him yesterday. He seems fair. An honourable man.
Yeah. Out of character, I'm only adding this out of consistency because I did actually mention it in the other scene yet. So I don't know how to proceed. So I just thought I'd do it that way. Back into character though. He's a knowledgeable guy. He definitely knows his stuff.
I should speak to him, I guess. Seeing he's a member of my tribe. And there aren't that many of us.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised when I found out he was a childhood guy. I was super impressed.
Yeah? Have you met Fang of Sobek, by the way, Joe?
I have, and he's good. He's good people.
Will looks, although Will's not short, he's 6'1". Both Joe and Fangs of Sobek are bigger than him in height and in terms of muscle mass. So Will looks a bit of a weed alongside these two.
And when Joe sees Sobek, he just waves and smiles good-naturedly. Hey, Raya, how are you?
Hard at work. Working on footwork and good swings of the blade.
Do you find much work for using a sword as a garu?
Well, keeps me sharp. I know fangs and claws do the job, but I need to be proficient in all levels of weaponry. Working on sword, and we'll work on firearms next.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. Do you hear me?
Pretty quiet, mate.
Fuck.
It.
Oh.
I was just about to say something, but then he dropped.
Yeah, he was
Hey.
refreshing.
Hey, it's a Robbie.
Any better?
Yeah.
Still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
And remember, guys, we do actually have the toolbox now, so you can turn individual people up.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, the mention of using firearms. Felix shows his face. He takes one of the earbuds that he keeps in his ears and drapes it over the top of his ears, he always does, and crosses his arms, leaning against a tree or a crate or some fixture.
Hey, Raya. And Joe goes over and takes a knee and offers his throat, and he's very clearly happy to see Felix.
Felix smirks and does an upward nod, flick of his nose, if you will.
How are you today?
Fine. Could always be better, but not complaining. How are yourself?
I'm all right. I was just coming to the training grounds to do a bit more after a meeting I had today, and here I am. I bump into some of my favorite people. And he smiles warmly at everyone there, including Felix, of course.
A meeting, you say?
Yeah.
Have anything to do with, I don't know, a tongue?
Will shoots a glance at Felix.
Felix shoots a glare at Will.
Well, let's just say that I got to meet the truth catcher today. He's a very knowledgeable fellow.
I've only met him once, but he's got a strong personality, that guy.
That's for sure. Speaking of guns, though, that's actually an area that I could really use some help with. I was trying to meet Ryan, but I haven't had the chance to yet. Would you mind if everyone's going to do a lesson, would you mind if I joined?
Sure. But if you're looking for a piece, Teresa's definitely the one you got to talk to.
Well, I figure, if I wind up needing one, I'll definitely want to use it, but I'd still like to learn how. I never actually got to learn how to shoot. Well, actually, that's not true, but I usually did my hunting the traditional way. My dad was really cool on the traditions, up in Hawaii, that is.
And Alana approaches. Did I hear somebody mention Teresa?
Hello, Raya. It's good to see you. And Joe will offer a knee to you as you approach.
Alana's wearing a jacket and she has her hands in her pockets, which is very uncharacteristic for her.
Hey, Alana, how you doing?
Hello, lad. Alive.
Did you get the stuff I sent?
We did. Aye. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And she looks around to see who all's here at the moment. Well, I could talk to a few of you all at once then. This will be grand. So I have a request to make, folks, on behalf of spirits.
Oh yeah.
In the near future, today, preferably before the 19th of June, if you can at least take a moment out and give homage to the wind, to the air, that would be greatly appreciated.
The 19th, you say? I gotta say, that is oddly fucking specific.
Aye. 2 weeks. 3 weeks, sorry. I started talking to folks yesterday about it.
Well, I have the honor to tell you, Ryan, that I've already done that, but I would be more than happy to do it a second time.
How would they
Doing it
prefer
more than once isn't bad. Each person has their own way of giving homage, you know. Do what feels right to you. You could spend some time hanging wind chimes or flying a kite or just taking a few moments to say praise to the wind on the air.
That's awesome.
If we're going to be part of this chiminage, can I ask what it's for?
My life.
What? And
What?
Joe kind of his eyes go wide, like, and I mean, you can tell it's not done in like a obstinate kind of way, but his face just kind of shoots up to look at you quite straight faced. What?
As part of my Adrian challenge, I've made an agreement with the spirits of wind and air that I will make amends between myself and those that it's necessary. Get everyone on sept to pay homage to them. And if I don't, then I'll have failed my challenge and my life will be forfeit.
Holy fuck.
Bloody hell, Alana. Yeah, of course. Everybody on Sept.
Aye.
I
See Will's cogs ticking in his head. He thinks about the 2 Wendigo in his pack.
She's already thinking about them too.
Is
I know your pack mates are probably not necessarily up for doing it, but I will speak to them at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later.
My pack mates do what's best for the nation every time. I'm sure if you talk to them, they'll be more than happy to help.
I
I hope
will
that's true.
of course keep any element of it as private as you want, but I wouldn't mind going around the sept and just asking people also if that's okay. Is there any rule against me helping?
I have to be the one to do it.
Oh, okay.
Only pack mates can help with a challenge for rank. And even that, not always.
Nuts.
My pack is doing their part, as I've asked them, but the rest is up to me.
Okay, Raya. Well, I'll be praying for you, that's for sure.
you will see the huge Krynos stop and basically turn around, and he basically walks over to his jacket, well, his pinstripe suit, and basically pulls out some wind chimes. And basically then goes back and start training again.
Actually, that gives Joe an idea. Joe is going to basically offer up a point of gnosis to the wind, and he's going to start doing a hula dance. And
Are we in the Tellurian or the Umbra?
Valerian?
Yeah,
Valerian.
I don't think you can manifest Gnosis in the Tellurian.
Oh, I thought you could in the veil protected areas.
It's
No,
just like you physically can't do it in the real world. You have to be in the Umbra.
Oh, okay, my bad.
It's cool.
But he's gonna still do a hula dance in honor of the winds.
She will smile appreciatively. She doesn't seem stressed or like certain, like there's no dread about her with this, so she looks very chipper and upbeat at the moment. And Alana will just watch the dancing.
Will watches as well. Slightly bemused that it's quite so impromptu.
So, I have a question about that.
Hi.
When you agreed to this, did you keep in mind the Garo on Sept that, well, I suppose there's no way around this, hate Metis?
Hi.
Hey, look at that! And as if on cue, a couple of Silverfang kin, one of them holding a large beach umbrella, and the other one pushing a cart, come up and they put up the beach umbrella and they set out two folding chairs, the beach style that are kind of low Adirondack style, and about 10 feet behind them walks the visage of Balian Kraus, is sipping a cup of tea from a porcelain cup, and he just kind of walks up after they've got the little makeshift camp set up at the edge of the training grounds, and takes a seat and says, oh, I'm sorry, was I interrupting?
And trailing not far behind, probably essentially at his heel, is 10 Point, who is in her usual like passive, slightly slumped, just kind of /follow mode.
Hey, just explaining something. As per the spirit's request, I'm asking all the folk around Sept, that within the next 3 weeks, starting yesterday, which means by the 19th of June, to pay homage to the air and wind. As a theurge, that is my duty to make sure that it happens.
Hang on a second, I gotta take this. Felix pulls out his phone and steps aside.
Is Balian like with the group? He come to speak to us?
He's over to what? Yeah, he sets it up just kind of at the edge of the group. I'm assuming you're all on the training grounds. I believe that's what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's right at the edge of the training grounds, close enough to where he is part of the group. But he just kind of takes his seat and just kind of sits at his tea, looks over at the cart, the various different brunch items on it, and just kind of shrugs and goes back to watching.
And as if to explain his watching setup, 10 Point will, once he's settled and talking to people, will take the time first to lay herself out. But presuming that she's eventually given leave to rise, we'll slip into the training ground area and find one of the center posts for practicing various strikes on, and we'll take off her little fingerless gloves and bare-fisted begin to full force punch it in a way that looks not in the least bit comfortable.
Sobek will approach her and basically kind of, he'll just basically point with one of his claws and basically point back at himself, then basically show 10 Point a good fighting pose, like a solid stance.
For what it's worth, stance doesn't seem to so much be the issue. She's got her feet planted pretty well. Will has taught her how to get her feet right at the very least. And no, she is just repeatedly 1-2, 1-2, slamming her knuckles into this wooden post with her teeth gritted.
Will is watching slightly from the side.
And Felix wraps up his phone call. Yeah, that's what I said. No, I'll see you on Friday. Thank you again, Miss Brown. Bye. Goes back to crossing his arms and sees that a fight is apparently going to break out. Yeah. Strokes his stubble.
Joe will finish his dance, and after which he will actually give a bell to the 4 directions, and actually he'll do a 5th one more almost to himself, as if in a prayer, and then he'll go over to Bailey and Raya to a certain space so that he can be seen, and he'll go down on one knee and offer his neck and just say, "Good afternoon, Bailey and Ryan."
Now, as someone comes over to address him, Bailey will smile and he'll tap his spoon on the side of his cup and place it over on the cart and stand and smile down at Joe. "Good evening, Cub. You look well, at least weller than I saw you last."
"I am, thank you, Raya. I simply wished to come and see you, and thank you for being present at my first change, and to offer you my formal introduction. And there was one other matter. You're a very hard man to find. I would like to schedule an appointment to perhaps learn from you and see what your style of being a philodox is, as per the honorable den mother's instruction, if you wouldn't mind."
"Of course I wouldn't mind. It's part of my duty to the nation to instruct cubs." He'll kind of snap his fingers towards one of the kinfolk, and he'll walk over with a planner. He'll kind of look at it. "I will have one of my kin send for you when I have an opening. I'm assuming that you'll be easily found."
I can, yes, Raya. With your permission, I have, being Joe Summers, I was 1.5 moon and on 2 legs, and I'm a cub of.
He'll smile and he'll raise himself up to full height to exchange as is proper. "I am Balian Kraus, known as Predator's Focus, born under a 1/2 moon on 2 legs, Cleith of the nation, child of Falcon, of House Deeming Eye. I thank you for your kind, formal introduction. I must send a note to the Den Mother, commending her teachings. He kind of snaps to one of the kinfolk, and they just kind of raise a finger as in, got it. Please rejoin your exertions. I do not want to interrupt your training.
As you wish, Rat. And Joe will go back.
And Balian will make his way back over to his chair and recollect his teacup and saucer. Lay back in the Adirondack chair, taking some sun.
Right, since I'm going to use this as an opening, Aiden is going to swagger out basically on his phone, usual cocky posture after getting a message basically from Balian to meet him down to observe his pax mates training. So he will arrive and see that he is laying in beach chairs and an umbrella. He'll kind of poke his head under the umbrella with a big smile on his face basically.
You're late.
I know, I was a bit busy.
I'm sure that the tea is still warm. He'll kind of gesture towards the other chair as one of the kinfolk will bring Aiden a teacup of his own and fill it with a dark tea.
Aiden sit himself down and cross his legs and thank the kinfolk and take the tea and look at her. How has it been doing?
It is currently, and he'll point over to where 10 Point is beating a pole to death. It's quite formidable against things that can't hit back.
Spoiler, the pole is beating her knuckles to death. She's losing.
Stop that right away. He'll just basically tell her to stop.
At which point she kind of freezes up. Probably like midway through pulling one of her fists back as he's seeing blood on the knuckles. She hasn't gotten much further than that, and kind of cast a glance aside to the the somewhat out of place setup of beach chairs and umbrella.
He's going to slowly shift down and get like a towel and get some water.
He will note that even as he's going and getting these things, the knuckles are starting to knit together.
We may be able to regenerate, but you still need the proper as you need to wrap your fist. He'll basically take out like these basically fighting wraps basically and start, may I? I was going to ask, can he wrap it around her hand?
She's still kind of got the side glance going to see if there's a distinct gesture made of any sort.
The only thing that you see from Balian is a distinct look of distaste at someone actually wanting to touch it. But
Right?
that's it.
She won't resist, and since she's not getting flailed at to do anything else, we'll go ahead and relax her hand open and let him take it.
He's basically going to start wrapping the wraps around her hands and stuff. Need to be more careful. You have good stance. William has taught you well, but you need to know how to let the strength come from your legs and flow through your fist.
And she starts to open her mouth to answer and pauses and thinks better of it and just kind of closes her mouth again and lets him do his thing.
Did you have something that you need to say?
It will merely change the purpose of the training, yes.
And what is the purpose of the training?
It is training in conviction, not in physical ability, yes.
Then there's other ways to do that instead of hurting oneself.
She just kind of purses her lips for a second. Does not argue. And yeah, I guess since I forgot it last scene and you're standing right over her, you'll see like a little tiny white head poke out of her hair. A little tiny mouse clambers up onto her antler, making little nose twitches.
A little friend. And basically he'll kind of see his big stubby fingers basically kind of try to, pet it.
You actually hear an audible, "Aww." Horrible little mouse.
William looks to Alana and says, "For some reason, I want to read Steinbeck."
Ground Rider.
And as he looks at the giant guy petting a small innocent animal.
Hearing the comment from Will, Bailey actually smiles and kind of raises his teacup to that.
Will pays him no heed. And he continues watching the training that's going on. He's assessing his fellow Irene.
Well, I will allow you to get back to your training, 10 Point. Seems like you was doing well. How about you try the training dummies over there?
I wouldn't want to take up a spot for someone who knows what they're doing. This serves well, yeah.
No need for that. We must learn from one another and strengthen each other's resolve. And what better way to do that than to have your fellow brothers and sisters of Gaia watch and provide insight for you in the ways of combat.
And thusly, 10 Point is kindness bullied to a proper practice dummy.
Truthfully, he looks over towards the cub. Joe, was it?
Yes, Raya, you would like something of me?
He looks over towards 10 Point. You, come here.
And in the midst of scoring up and maybe getting one punch on this dummy, 10 Point apparently recognizes herself as you pretty readily. And her head kind of...
She has a name.
Snaps about, and she hurries over.
He looks at 10 Point, then looks at Joe. Have you been learning to fight?
I'm Raya. Ola's Ash Raya has also been helping me. Though I have had a great many instructors in this area. In Raya himself has helped me. And so has Will Raya.
Excellent. Show me. And he gestures towards 10 Point.
As you wish. What kind of match would you have, Raya?
No match. She's a training dummy. Show me your strikes.
What in Gaia's name?
Joe, actually, can someone roll me, if anyone cares to roll a perception empathy, please.
It was 5 dice, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, not for me, but if anyone wants to.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's 2 for me.
2 successes.
Anyone else?
Give me 1 second.
What role are we in? Sorry.
1. Extra 1.
Yeah, I think insightful would definitely count.
A botch.
Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Felix is playing on his phone.
I got 3.
So-
Holy shit.
Okay, so I think everyone but Felix got 1.
I got a 1.
Yeah.
Wasn't the right one.
Okay, but okay, so I'm sorry, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Jarrell, would you like to do a perception and empathy as well?
Oh, well, to be honest, he is more focused on what the Silverfang just said.
Okay,
I think you've got your roles.
okay. So for everyone except Felix, Joe does not want to do this way. But he also can't disobey Araya.
Will walk over. You don't have to indulge sadism, Joe. Come on.
And Joe looks very confused because one Raya is actually actively telling him to disobey another Raya. So though I guess the fact that Will is of a higher rank kind of tilts it in his favor.
Yeah, Balian will at Will's. Oh, there he's back. Okay.
As I was talking.
Yep, Balian will at Will's command say, you must learn how to strike targets. No, Raya. There's no sadism in this. The only sadism would be to send a unprepared cub into combat.
Are you den father, Cliff?
No, I am not, which you well know, Raya.
Which I do know. Zoe does not want him beating another Garu.
Ah, so you speak with her voice. Excellent. I'll take that to note, Raya. Thank you for correcting me.
Or just gives him a look. Come on, Joe. And he'll take him over to the actual training domains.
Balian,
So as I
looks
was
over-
saying, when you arrived, she's looking straight at Balian. Though you may not want to hear it, as a ranking theurge on this sept, it is my duty to ask of you and each member of this sept before the 19th of June to pay homage at least once to the air and wind. Is that understood, lad?
I hear perfectly well, Raya. Yes.
Joe will, but he definitely looks like he's caught between a rock and a hard place.
He's really not. Will outranks Balian.
And as they walk away, Joe kind of leans into Will's ear and just says, "Thank you, Raya."
That's all right. And yeah, we'll begin showing him how to fight, as he's done a few times.
And Joe will attempt to kick the crap out of the training dummy.
Balian will look to 10-point and sigh. Well, apparently you will not get to serve Gaia in this fashion today. You may return to beating up wood.
And she'll nod faintly and turn to come back over towards where Nigel is fuming, and will settle herself back in front of the dummy, quite as if nothing happened, though she will say quietly to him, "Remember, Yef, Omega, I am not angry."
Let Gaia will be done.
Bailey looks over towards Aiden and stands. The sun's going in. Well, I'll leave this for you to clean up. He kind of turns and just kind of starts walking back over towards the seeker's cabin area.
No problem, Beta. He just shakes his head.
At which point, Felix ventures on over to Aiden and initiates the secret handshake.
Totally. Secret handshake. You know. Where have you been hiding, eh? Where have you been hiding, eh?
You know, the old hideaway across the street.
Ah.
What about
I
you?
see, I see.
How are things? And he goes,
He sticks out his tongue and goes, completely fine.
good.
I mean, nothing keeps me down for long, Felix. You gotta realize that. Don't you worry.
Heard about it though. Turns around to look at Will for a second and then look back.
Will is showing Joe the ropes. Unless you're saying it's within his earshot.
It's a good question. I have no sense of distance in my head right now.
Make it up.
But-
Choice.
I'd say it at least warrants a perception, alertness, hearing.
We can't be asked rolling dice. Just decide. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll say it's probably, unless he's paying attention, he won't hear it.
Cool.
I have 4 successes to hear because I have acute hearing.
Felix says, "Fuck that dude." No, not really. Not really, but yeah. Kind of get that vibe from what he's saying.
Could she tell who he was referring to? Balian or?
Oh, yeah, you definitely would have noticed when he turned around to look at Will.
Okay.
Good to see you up and about, though. So, yeah, I got a phone call from you. I think you were drunk.
In case you didn't notice, Torna fell out of the hangout.
Felix notices.
He'll be back. His computer keeps clunking out.
In the meantime, though, there's something that I can say to Felix. Joe will excuse himself from William for a minute, and he goes over to Felix and says, you know, especially now that I've got my addiction under control, I just wanted to make sure that everyone that was there when I had my first change understands just how grateful I am, Raya. You've all helped me a lot, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And I look forward to being worthy of the help.
And Felix smiles at this and offers his hand cordially for a shake.
And Joe shakes it very, very warmly. Joe is being completely sincere when he says it.
It's good to have you, Joe, and I'm glad you could get that nasty business out of the way.
For the record, I never did get to speak to the Alpha of the Sept on this, but I really do feel like you and Will Ryan would have made, or I mean, either of you would have made an excellent den father. That, of course, is just my opinion. And
Will is now actively watching this conversation, and his eyes raise. He looks pretty amused by this notion.
And Joe will just very politely excuse himself from his Raya and go back to the training dummy. Unless you have anything to say to him, that is.
No, he just similarly raises his brows and looks at the ground for a second with a chuckle and just offers a no. No.
You all get a thumbs up as he goes back to the training dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone gets a thumbs up while Joe goes back to the training dummy.
Alana just nods in acknowledgement of this thumbs up when it gets pointed at her. She doesn't seem to be in the mood to take her hands out of her pockets.
And you hear a snap as one of the collarbones of the dummies eventually breaks under a punch.
Nice punch.
Thank you.
Yeah, 10 Point's got a whole lot of try hard going on, but not a lot of results, to be honest. So comparatively, she hears the snap and actually flinches and turns to glance, not realizing they even had that feature, but they're pretty freaking fancy. So there's that sharp glance at the noise and a squeak of protest from the base of one of her antlers, because that was a pretty quick move. And once she realizes that it is just a feature, she kind of blinks a time or two and turns back to doing her best.
Actually, after Joe does this for a few more minutes, he will ask Will Raya if it would be okay for me to offer some help to 10 Point.
Will, kind of acquiesces, and while he goes over, he'll go over to Fangs of Sobek and offer to hold some punching bags for him. Fellow Iron, he doesn't get to hang out with him too.
Fangs of Sobek will accept the offer.
Actually, Raya, if you'd like, maybe you can help me help 10 Point at the same time. And Joe will actually go over with Sobek and ask, "Excuse me, Ryan, may I offer you some advice?"
And what is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was actually he actually asked you if you wouldn't mind helping him help 10 Point.
Of course.
And then they would go over to her, and then Joe would ask, "Excuse me, may we offer you some advice, Raya?"
And while 10 Point is not deaf and thus has heard this, she's kind of composed herself until such a point as she now has several people around her offering to help, and she actually looks kind of comically overwhelmed, like in a very real way. It's not putting on a face at all. And she kind of pauses for a moment, gets a grip again, and then steps back a bit, lowering her hands, her now tightly wrapped hands. Of course.
Joe will actually place one of your hands on the wood again, and then he brings your other hand against your rib, and he says, "This is called the chamber, Raya." And then as you step down through your lead foot, this will give you more power in your strike. And he actually lets you do it. And then he holds up his hands in front of Sobek, and he says, "Please hit my hands, Raya, and do it slowly so that she can see what you do."
You there, Diamond?
Oh yeah, my bad. I was my bad about that. Whatever happening, he'll just be right there, just waiting for the demonstration.
He's basically given her a pointer and then held up his hands and asked you to essentially go for the whole punching into his palms, but slowly so that 10 Point can observe the process.
Oh, okay. He'll basically slowly like throw a little quick jab, nothing special, and basically you just see big hulking hands is basically kind of taps.
See how at the point of impact he steps down with his front foot. This will give you a lot more bang for your buck, Raya. And
Will is looking very amused at this teaching, like and appreciative as well.
And always go for a snap. You want to keep your shoulder and your elbow as close to in line with one another as you can, and always look where you want to hit. And that'll always increase your accuracy of what you want to do.
And she's attentively watching and listening, though, especially with Will overlooking, albeit probably at a bit more of a distance. He'll catch her kind of glance over once or twice, like as if, first off, a little lost, but second off, as if confirming, like looking to see if he's approving of what's being said or disagreeing with what's being said, because let's face it, he's trained her too. So
She looks over at Will.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will doesn't really meet her eye, and he seems to be more concentrated on Joe and doesn't make any apparent gestures.
Okay, she's not trying to meet his gaze or anything. She's just kind of assessing how much he's approving of various tips that she's getting, if they seem a little different. things.
He looks more amused at Joe teaching her than anything. He doesn't seem to have any particular commentaries on the techniques being demonstrated.
Okay. Yeah. So he'll get a glance, maybe two, and then. But yeah, she's overall actually paying attention, and you know what? If neither of the Aruns is disagreeing, it must be good, right?
I've got one more tip for you, Ryan, if I may. And Joe will actually raise his fists and say, "Why don't we go boxing?" And then that way she can see what she's learning in action.
He's suggesting they box or shadow boxing.
No, he's offering to slow box with sorry, I just have to get the name again. With Nigel.
He will basically take up a form and basically start kind of shadow boxing with him, but also making sure his punches don't land. But making sure that the punches is basically going to the specific body areas, but not there. It's just basically like inches away from his body. It's kind of like shadow boxing, but it's kind of like it's slow, basically working on techniques and stuff.
And Joe is essentially doing the same thing, and every so often he'll throw up a block or a dodge or something.
At this point, she can't very well throw the punches and watch them at the same time, and she's familiar with the shadow boxing, having done it once or twice. And yeah, we'll just kind of watch and do our best to pay keen attention to how stances are changing, how balance is shifting, and where in theory the force would be coming from. Because, her stance is okay, and if anything, while she misses much of the time in combat, it's probably from an amount of force getting disbalanced. Because when she's punching the dummy, she seems to hit it. So yeah, she's trying to pay attention to the line of where the force is starting from to where it's going, and how they're maintaining balance.
That's all I wanted to add, Raya. Thank you for allowing me to help you. And Joe will offer a high five to the other Raya for helping him.
And he will high five him back. Good teaching.
Same to you, Raya.
She still looks distinctly overwhelmed, and with that closing statement, we'll kind of duck our head and go industriously back to her work on the dummy. This time with the fists kind of ringing with a little more force, an audible amount of difference, as she's taking the advice of bringing the force up from the hip.
Yes.
And she has long since turned at least a pale shade of pink, just because it's an awful lot of attention.
Could it be possible that one of your ancestors was in our room? Because you sure hitting like one.
She kind of jerks at that a little bit, and turns now a faint shade of red, but seems jarred.
Joe is smiling.
Meanwhile, Aiden is looking at this glass piece Felix has pulled out, and like his eyes kind of bulge a bit. Is that what I think it is?
Oh yeah. Ah, you hear me? Ah,
Yeah.
You were super
There.
quiet though.
Abuse the toolbox. Abuse it.
That's just crap.
Nope.
Okay, I think I might have fixed it.
Are you alive, Felix? Or are you still like silent as the earth, man?
Still silent. Oh.
Glasswalkers and technical difficulties, yeah.
Stuff happens.
coming out. Ah,
There we go.
Yeah, yep.
yay. Okay. So
There
yeah,
we go.
Felix pulls out this glass piece and starts stuffing it with weed.
Yeah, Hayden's gonna like scoot over. You like even hear the fucking chair like rocking a bit. Give us a talk of that.
Let me roll a perception and alertness for that good stuff right quick, good sirs.
Come and get your love.
Aiden was distinctly throwing Cypress Hill as well on his phone and thumping on the chair beside him and like, you know.
Dum, 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 dum.
Joe just kind of smiles at this, but doesn't ask for any or anything like that.
Do one success get it?
This is some dank ass weed, so I'll give it to you.
You'll see so back to like, excuse me. Go over there. If I may be so bold, is that what I think that is?
And Felix at this point has lit it and taken a deep as he turns his head with lungs full of the stickiest of the icky, and gives him a look and goes, "Sure." Offers a glass piece over.
Aiden has the look like, bro, really? I asked first, man. You know, it's that type of look. You know?
I mean, he did ask first, and he points his lighter hand at Aiden.
Aiden will take it really quickly and like, you know, take a huge hit and like, here, take it.
So Beck will like grab it with his huge hand and he'll look around and be like, you know, it's gonna be a funny and cruel joke, but the silent striders usually say that even though we are not connected to our homeland, sometimes when we take a good hit of the good stuff, we can see the ancestors ourselves. Let's see if it'll work. Basically, you're gonna take a big puff, big, oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yep.
There it
That's
is.
the gush, isn't it? Yep. Good, right? You know, as he kind of like pats the guy to sit down beside the two of them, you know. Sit down, man.
Yeah.
Stuff at home.
And he's sitting right there and he looks, hey, Cub, come over here.
Oh no!
Okay.
Will steps in at this point and puts his hand on Joe and he's like, "No, don't."
It's okay, Raya. I don't have the addiction anymore. And
You wanna
Joe
relax?
Joe just very, very gently holds up a finger, and Joe says to Sawbeck, with all due respect, Raya, I am coming off of an addiction, and I feel it's important, especially with all the help that I've gotten since I came here, that I honor sobriety for a while.
I'm
But I
sorry
thank you for. However, I thank you for including me, Raya, and hope that you will not see this as an act of disobedience.
No. That's very admirable. I'm sorry for offering this dank weed to you.
Aiden is trying not to laugh. Maybe due to giggles, he's trying not to laugh.
I'm sorry. That was very disrespectful of me. I shouldn't have asked. I will make sure I will see the ancestors.
This stank has to
You
be pretty
have-
offensive. Go back.
You have no reason to apologize, Raya. You couldn't have known.
He going to turn around. What did you say?
Oh, you have no. I'm sorry. You have no reason to apologize, Raya. There's no way you could have known.
That's. Thank you.
You have a reason to apologize to me, puff pass, motherfucker.
Sorry. He sneaks one more puff again. Oh, yeah. Here you go.
That greed is gonna get you, boy. Back to eating.
Pass it over. Fucking hell, Felix. Jesus. You know, as he sniffs and takes a huge drag and passes it back to Stobeck.
Oh, I think I see one of the ancestors now.
I can't.
Wait, you can actually see one, can you? Really?
I don't know. He looks like he could be off that little cartoon movie, The Prince of Egypt.
Oh shit! He's like erupts laughing.
I can't see my ancestors.
Oh, come on, man. Oh.
Mine's a leprechaun when you think about it. You know, like the guy from The Simpsons. You know what I mean? Peers on your shoulder, like.
I get that reference. He'll pass it.
Oh shit! All right, just one more.
Does the same pass as the Sobek?
Can I ask you something, Aiden?
Sure, knock yourself out, Sobek, my good old pal.
You know, earlier I kind of wanted to, after you hit me with that shillelagh, I kind of wanted to rip you apart. But then I got to remember, Ragabashes has always been known to be all quick and stuff and whatever. So, no hard feelings, but I would like a rematch.
It's no problem, Sobek. Most people want to rip me apart anyways. He kind of like slaps him on the shoulder. It's fine. It's fine. You'll get your rematch, don't worry. We'll do it with fists this time.
Before I excuse myself, Reyes, would anyone like me to help them with anything?
Joel, he kind of like looks him dead in the face. Right now, you're all green to me, man. So you don't worry about a thing, wee cub. You keep on keeping on, man. Don't worry.
Hey. Ready for the next episode.
Joe turns to each of you and waits to see what you're saying.
You are okay with me. You are okay in my books. You are a good follow docs in the making and a good cub. Keep up the good work.
You're going to be a solid cook. You're going to be a solid file box, Joe. Don't you worry. A good heart in you, like.
Go out and kick somebody's ass, please. You're just
Go on. Go do it.
You're too nice. You're too damn nice.
Man. Yeah. You got to get mean, man. Get really angry all the time. That's how you do it.
Felix points at Aiden.
I'm never angry. He smiles.
What?
Joe just smiles, and you know he goes to everyone, so you know he just makes sure that there's no one here that's
Run along, lad. You're free to go.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much for today. And Joe walks off.
As Joe leaves, Will watches him go, and we'll go back to the training dummies and begin shifting to Krynos and basically practice on some of the various things we have.
Before you start mauling that dummy, what do you think would be some good offerings to help make things go smoother? You know your pack better.
Probably this dank weed.
I'd have to ask them. If the Iona tribe made amends for what happens in a more meaningful way, I'm sure it would change their opinion on what happened, or at least warm to them. I don't think they're going to be bribed over there, in truth. They may do it. I'm sure they will. It's your life on the line.
Not that they'd mind one more Fiona being gone. Thank you, lad.
Will look like he's not totally sure of that answer.
And she'll head over to the others. Remember, homage to the wind spirits. 20 days. Please.
I already got my wind chimes going.
Thank you for that.
Oh, Aiden, before I forget, I got a call.
All right.
From you.
You got a call from me? What?
Something about, I think you said you were in Vegas.
Yeah, I was in Vegas.
The fuck were you doing in Vegas?
I got married.
And like Felix does a quick look around.
Yeah, to her, yeah.
And he just like leans forward and gives him a hug.
All right. I have to tell Saoirse yet, but I'm going to be telling her when I see her next.
Nice, congratulations. I wish I could have been there.
Marriage is a beautiful thing.
It was good, no. Good. Put a few things in perspective. So I gotta tell the others and all that, but hey, gives a big actually cheery smile. But keep it secret now. I want it to be a surprise for Saoirse, like.
No.
Because it was kind of a spur of the moment thing, and I want to do a proper ceremony thing so she can, you guys can like point Felix, so you and her can be like my best man and stuff like that. So, it gives a thumbs up, completely stoned off his head, like.
Felix gives him a thumbs back, and takes a look over at 10 Point, and looks back at his stash, and I think the correct roll is manipulation crafts to roll a blunt, but I'm gonna do it.
What? Manipulation to roll it?
Or would it be Dex? I don't know.
It takes a lot to roll it. It takes a lot to roll a good blunt, especially the dankest of blunts.
I'm gonna roll something.
Aiden will call her over, like whistle, 10 Point, there.
Yes.
Oh,
That is 4 successes. This is a very neat, very meticulously rolled blunt.
Miguel's like, oh shit.
$10 Point.
10 Point has been summoned over. But Katie will remind you that you only get your craft dice if it's what you have your craft in, unless you have a handyman.
Oh. Yeah, then that's take off 1 success or take off the 4. I'll leave that up to you.
That's just whatever. I'm pretty sure even if you take off a success, a 3 success blunt is still a pretty good blunt.
You got that right, man.
Oh, god damn it. Yeah, 10 Point will give her hands a shake as she steps back from the dummy, and particularly with Aiden calling her over, we'll go ahead and just kind of do that odd trotting gait back over so that she can't be accused of lagging.
We got something for you.
I'm not even, to be fair, I'm not sure you guys can even make the rolls at this point, but she is openly skeptical.
No, I'm serious. We're serious. Since you're doing so well, Felix wants to say something.
I want you to have this. I made it for you.
A tear will come down Miguel's face. Just like
one slow thug tear. Does he offer this out like it's the most treasured belonging he's ever possessed?
He does so with 2 hands.
you just see Sobek over there just sniffles oh, there's 2 gangsters.
10 Point is still openly somewhat suspicious, but it has been offered out, and she is not going to refuse it because that would be rude. And so she will gingerly pluck this offered blunt out of his hands.
Use it wisely.
Put it in your mouth, 10 Point.
What?
Some say the dankest of dankest can allow you to see the future.
Basically, he'll instruct 10 Point how to put in the blunt properly, because I'm assuming she's never smoked weed before.
You think people give her weed?
Don't smoke that all in one place.
And then
Blank.
Aiden will look at her. You ready? As he's taking Felix's lighter.
He did say to use it wisely, Raya. Perhaps I should save it for the proper point in time.
Hell no! Don't say that.
Weed like that is very hard to come by.
The defeated kind of posture starts setting in when he's like, "No!" She's like, "Oh, god damn it!"
I mean, do you want Billion to know you got weed?
Oh shit,
Says
she's
it's
not
a bit
allowed?
flat. No. We're being a bit bold, but you know what Billion won't know won't hurt him, right? This would be our little secret.
Listen, he's a silver flank. He probably do that stuff all the time. He probably got the hookup.
I wonder if he
Just
puts
giggle.
it. I wonder if he puts it in his tea.
Probably make teas and crumpets with it.
Oh shit.
Besides, look, just be you and me, and I'll walk you off to make sure you're not too bad when I come back. So you'll be fine. Nothing will happen. Promise. Gives it another big smile.
Oh no.
Oh boy. She kind of pauses and looks between these three stoned ass motherfuckers. Like, steals a glance back over to where Will is doing his thing. Sighs in defeat.
There'll probably be a loud cheer as Aiden lights the lighter, I'm assuming. You know, like, yes! From all three is he lights the blunt for her, basically.
Yeah.
You'll just see Miguel dad.
And here's the best part is that, like, you light it and she tries and she does what most people would do that don't know what they're doing. Exactly what she saw them do, which means pull a giant lungful and then promptly go
shit.
into an outrageously, like, frantic coughing fit.
Oh shit! Oh.
Like, doubled over, dying.
Oh. I remember my first.
So was that planning or to get her stone then, Felix? I'm surprised. You're quite sadistic when you think about it. You know, like slap his shoulder in almost an affectionate way, like I'm so proud of you.
I am not a good person.
You are a good person if I offer her the dankest of dankest right there. How you think we gonna survive this war? We ain't gonna survive this war on just drinking Gatorade and stuff. We gonna need the drugs.
I don't know, man. We made it pretty far in the Amazon on Powerade and granola bars.
Oh, here, what? Nobody that had a hookup over there is the Amazon. They should have pounded that stuff.
Just me. I had some, but I didn't really know anybody.
Aiden is doing the whooshing hands over 10 Point's face to freak her out even more.
Like, to be fair, I'm not even sure how much of a hit she really got, seeing as, like, she inhaled until she was coughing, which was pretty promptly. She doesn't smoke anything, so yeah, her lungs and throat and whatnot are not adjusted to this in the least. So if anything, she's freaking out just because it's Aiden quickly putting his hands towards her. So she kind of stumbles as she's coughing, probably lands on her butt a couple feet away.
Have another toke there, lightweight, you'd be grand. Have another one as he, like, you know, relights the blunt for her and, like, hands it over. Like, making sure he cleans it first before she touches it.
Oh, Lord. He's handing her the lighter, or he's...
No, he's lighting it for her, like, basically holding the blunt out so she has to put her mouth on it, and then he lights it then.
Oh, no. See, no, it's her first time. Don't... If it's too much, she'll get scared, and it'll ruin it. It'll ruin it.
Be fine. She'll be fine. I know what I'm doing. Be fine. We're experts in this, Felix and Sobek. We're experts.
Mm-hmm. Dab on them. You just go dab again.
Oh no.
Yeah, so no. Like one more hit for 10 Point, basically.
Oh God. Yeah, she's barely holding in the coughs from the previous time, and probably is fairly, like, teary and pink-eyed from all the hacking. But yeah, she's not gonna tell him no. She doesn't want to know what kind of things happen when he's angry and on drugs. So yeah, she again will obediently put her lips on the blunt and do her best to inhale, and then, you know, smoke, of course, immediately comes billowing out of her nose and mouth.
Yeah.
She goes coughing again.
Oh, yeah.
Sobek, you've probably been all over the place. You probably had weed danker than this.
Well, well, I may not know a whole lot about things, but I do know one thing. You know, weed has always been there for me when I needed it. I remember this one time, this Wendigo came to the set over in, Vancouver, set to Forest Ghost. And, he pulled out a peace pipe and he was like, he was real cool. He sat down and he started smoking. I was like, man, I was like, excuse me, Ryan, it's been a hard day for me. You got anything that can ease my mind? He was like, I got that wet water for you. And man,
Wet water.
Oh yeah. I tell you, I thought I was running in the desert for one thing, killing vampires. Oh, dang.
Oh my god. Dank desert weed, wet water. I can't. Oh my god. Felix looks over. Looks over at 10 Point, like waves his hand in front of her eyes.
10 Point looks very, very dizzy. She's she's still got her butt on the ground, and she hasn't gone and folded her legs all tidy or anything since she plopped there. But she's at this point leaned over and is leaning heavily on a planted hand, as though she needs to steady herself. The ground is moving, and probably has her eyes kind of turned down and is closing them periodically to try to reorient, as if everyone's had a dizzy spell. She's trying to do those various little tricks, those little things, gives her head a shake, regrets it, trying really hard to reorient, and it's not happening. This is chemically assisted. This is not stopping.
Sobek just gonna look and be like, "You can't shake off this ambrosia."
Oh no. It's gone too far. Oh no!
Get you some water will be grand. You'll be fine before Balin comes back, as he kind of slowly sits up, rises almost like an ostrich.
Like an ostrich. First time I've heard that one. I'm sorry. Do I hear kids? What?
Huh?
What?
Come on, you. You kind of click his fingers at 10 Point. I'll get you some water so you're at least semi-sober before you go to sleep in the thing, He'll awkwardly, pick up the chairs,
Out of curiosity, is the weed awakened?
No.
It won't actually affect anyone in a non-breed form.
No, sweet. Then she's just dizzy from the coughing. Lol. Thank you for clarifying that. Then yeah, I will.
Know this because Will carries enough peyote at all times to
you're good, man.
render a half dozen Krynos unconscious, and it has to be awakened to affect you. Otherwise, you just heal it.
Well, fantastic. In that case, yeah, I will go back and tidily erase the part where anything was chemically assisted and just stand by her being dizzy from being lightheaded as a result of all the coughing.
You'll just recover very fast, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. So, yeah. Aiden gets up to get her water, and she's already blinking, rubbing at her eyes.
Well, I better get going. Might as well, since it's dying down. Thanks for the ganj, boys. And he'll kind of grin at everybody, and
Anytime.
probably dip his head in some water and shake, and we'll pick up the things Balin left, and we'll, hand them to some point and walk back to the cabin. Big smile on his face.
Hey, Sobek, remind me to tell you my name next time. I don't think I could do it all right now. There's a lot.
What?
Oh,
Okay.
oh God! Stop. And yeah, Felix puts his hands on his knees and pushes himself up, stumbles a little bit, and puts his earbuds in. Yeah, switches it to some Kid Cudi as he stumbles his way home.
Will is still training one of the MMA kind of like grapple dummies they have. He is basically tearing to pieces.
Sobek will slowly shift into Krynos. To shake off the effect, and he'll basically look at William. Spar?
Raises an eyebrow. If you like. In this form?
Of course.
Yeah, Will kind of shrugs. And just for the record, you can't strike non-aggravated damage in Warform.
What do you say?
So any way you strike is going to be aggravated damage in Kronos form. So like you can't punch. My point is that according to the STs, you can't punch the bashing damage in Kronos form.
He is going to pick up wooden swords.
Goes down for that. Will is going to, he's going to spend one Gnosis on Mercy, and he'll tell you that Unicorn allows me to use the war form in a more gentle manner. Your life won't be at risk.
Of course.
And then slash his claws across the ground for razor claws.
Sobek will get into a stance, so basically a stance with his blade.
Actually, because I've not actually used it in a combat yet, and I do want to, Will is going to roll for Luna's armor. One sec. Does it go? Yeah. That is just a single success, so we'll have one extra soak dice. And you see that, as an Aryan, I'm sure you will be familiar, at least with the concept of Luna's armor, and will glows brightly for a moment. And yeah, he will then get into a stance. And roll initiative.
All right.
I have 21.
I have probably will not be higher. So I have about 9.
Yeah, okay. Will go first then. Will is going to spend 2 rage, and his first one is going to be just a regular claw strike to test Test survey.
I am going to, well, I'll wait. I am going to dodge, and I am also going to spend 2 rage as well.
Cool. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 successes, so you can dodge to reduce that.
Okay, so
That's a damn nice roll.
got it. Actually, nope. I will not be dodging that. I'll just be soaking.
Yep, okay. Then I'll roll damage. 7, 7, 14, 18. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 6 bashing.
Okay. So okay. So, 1, 2, 3. I will only soak 3 of that.
You have 8 soak dice? Nice.
I only soak 3 of that. So, my turn.
Yep, your turn.
All right then. So,
Will is going to dodge.
all right then. So, basically, have a specialty. So.
Oh no.
He will miss.
Elbow. Okay, yeah, Will dodge anyway, so let's just make sure I don't botch. He doesn't dodge. Will dodges the unfortunately clumsy strike. And yeah, we'll use his second action to put in another slash.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just 5.
Mm-hmm.
And I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again.
Okay. So.
Oh, I'm a liar. Sorry, 7.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so 2 more through.
And as you hit him, he just kind of stumbles back a little bit. You know, he's impressed about it. Just whoa. So
I think you have a wound penalties now as well.
yeah. So look on my sheet. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I take 2 dices off my next roll. So 7. So all right, that takes 1 success out. So that'd be 1, 2, 3 will be added on to the other strike. Do we get wound penalties in our damage too?
Nope.
Okay. Alright, so. And the club is just +1, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Alright. Plus. All right then. So take the 1 out. So that'll be 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
4 passion.
Will soaks it.
Okay.
And yeah, I think that's top of the initiative then, right? Will is gonna hit you again. He looks impressed by how much of a beating you're taking. 8 fucking soaks us is nothing to sniff at. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is there a dodge?
No, I don't have dodge. Or
it's
if
athletics.
his dodge.
You run off athletics for dodging.
Oh. Well, I'm going to spend 1 rage this time, and I am going to choose to dodge this strike instead of taking hits.
Will is gonna spend 2 rage as well.
Okay. So athletics plus my dexterity. So. Minus 5. So
Nice.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I got 5. So yeah, I got 7, so I have 2 more left. Yep. Okay. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again.
Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically,
I think that's a knockout, right?
Well, it's at cripple because I get an extra health level for huge size.
Of course, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So basically, that'll put me at mauled, I think.
Sure.
Cripple. So.
And yeah, it's your action. Will kind of pauses after seeing you clearly. There's a fair whack of damage with that hit, and yeah, it's kind of up to you if you want to continue.
And he basically gonna get up, clearly saying that this probably gonna be his last. Basically gonna be his last strike. Then I already used my action to dodge. I think it's gonna go to rage.
So it's still your hit though, because you can dodge is reflexive.
It
doesn't take a full action.
That should. All right, so still down to since the extra health roll, I'm still down to wounded. So, but a couple more hits, I'm done. So, 5 dice. So, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you sure you're rolling the right dice pool? You should be on -5 currently for cripple.
Oh, I thought with the extra health level gave me like but I'll re-roll that.
Well, if you're on 7, normally that's incapacitated, but it means essentially you're on the equivalent of 6, which would be -5. That's to a pool.
Okay, let me roll that again for you.
Nice.
So,
Still a hit.
Okay. So 1 carries over. So
It's 3.
1, 2, 3.
Ooh. You do a solid hit. You hear the crunch as you connect solidly with Will, and you see him visibly wince. And as you kept going, Will is going to try to finish this. Finish the job, James. Bam. Oh, Jesus. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I need to
5,
get them rolls.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh God.
I think I'm doing like 20 fucking dice of damage now.
Yeah.
No, 21. No, 20. This could be unfortunate. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Thank God. That's 5 only.
Okay.
Because otherwise, bashing carries
Yes.
lethal, so.
Yeah. So, alright, since that don't, since soap don't really, I'll take. All these are soap, so.
Holy shit, you suck it up. Nice.
And basically, with this last, he's just going, with this one rage action, he's just going to try to see if he can do it. If he can't, then Gaia.
So I think you spent 1 rage this turn, right?
Yeah, I just spent 1.
So you attacked and dodged, so I think you've used all your rage actions.
Oh, I thought it was reflexive.
It is, but it's an extra action, but it can happen in the same turn as a proper action.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, Will is gonna. Jesus, I think Will's gonna. He knows that even with a unicorn's mercy, that he could really hurt you at this point, as you look pretty fucked up. And yeah, I don't think he wants to risk like basically knacking you. And he's gonna like kind of he's gonna use his action to put his hands up and get, and he's kind of an indicator of like cool, fight's over. Well trained.
And he'll basically kind of get up and nod and basically shift down.
If he does that, clearly indicating the fight's over, he'll be like,
oh yeah.
Well, he'll just be like, Will looks relieved, and he's like, well fought, man. Bloody hell, you can take a punch.
Oh, what'd he say?
He says, well fought, bloody hell, you can take a punch. As Will knows he hit you hard, and you sucked it up really well.
Well, I try. It's rough, but I will have to learn how to dodge more effectively. And this fight only indicates that against bigger and mightier opponents, not because of stature, but because of skill and experience, I can't always just stand and take a hit all the time.
Well, Nod. Well, if you want to, look into the Striders of Ice and Concrete. I know their totem encourages a steadfast resolve. Hey, I'll do you a deal though. How about I teach you some dodging, and I teach you some claw fighting, and you teach me how to use one of those, and he'll he'll actually nod towards his actual sword that I assume is like lying off to the side.
Of course, I'll make sure that. I'll make sure this. I will teach you.
Cool. Sounds good, man. And he'll he'll offer his hand.
Yeah, and he'll offer his hand because clearly he recognized the better fighter.
And we'll all say, cool, I'll see you around. And he'll leave. I think we've been keeping a load of people in a hangout. So, yeah, we'll leave. And he will say bye to... Actually, he doesn't say bye to another single other person here unless Alon is still hanging around. No, so he doesn't. And he'll say bye and he'll walk off. Don't know how's the plan.
We all set, guys?
Mm-hmm.
Lol.
Damn it. Well, on that thrilling note, we'll say thank you, watchers, for watching and players for playing. And we'll see you next time on another scene full of chaos. Nothing but chaos.